Greetings people, it's Jared here, Wolfgang1, back to do another Transformers review. This one's a little bit special for me because I am going to be dedicating this review to my honorary nephew who requested that I just do a little something for him. So Levi, this one is for you. Incidentally, if anyone is interested in checking him out, you can head over to his channel here on YouTube, Spudbot. The link will be in the description below. He does his own Transformers review, so head on over there, give him a watch, and if you enjoy what he does, give him a sub. He's well worth it. So we are going to be looking today as his request from me, which is going to be the Studio Series 86 Jazz figure. So let's take a look.
Okay, so here is Jazz in his box. This is these Studio Series boxes, I think, are just universal throughout the line, not necessarily sort of dependent on the 86 variants, the 86 spin-offs. Not really a hell of a lot to say about it. There's some decent stuff on the back. Says there it's big screen inspired scale detail backdrop, which I'll come on to in a minute. It's still in the box, but I'll come on to that as part of the accessories. And it says down here, Autobot Jazz makes a futile escape as Unicron devours Moonbase 1. That is all the blurb and bio you get on the back of this. I think these are stock photos that they've just put on the back, and there's some decent artwork here just on the side. This kind of reminds me of the sort of the Dreamwave stuff, although I don't know if it's directly inspired by that or stolen or if it's a new piece or whatever, but that's kind of what it reminds me of. There is a bit of discoloration on mine that might be being picked up on the camera, but I think the camera might actually exacerbate what you're seeing as opposed to actually how bad it is. The one thing I have noticed though is the thighs just here are a completely different colour to the rest of it, but we'll come on to that as we get on to the figure itself. But apart from that, then yeah, this is Jazz in his box. I'm going to be doing away with this actually, just so I can keep get a bit of room sorted. I'm going to keep the backdrop. That's for another purpose completely. But yeah, just make a bit of room, get rid of this box. So let's get on and show the accessories and the figure itself. Right, okay, so here's Jazz in his Generation 1 vehicle, alt mode. I'll come on to this in a minute because there are a couple of things that I want to point out which are bugging the shit out of me. I've already done this review once. I missed something really important I wanted to talk about. I got annoyed, so I'm starting again. So bear with me. We'll talk about the accessories first of all. Comes with one instruction booklet, which basically just details the transformation if you were interested. The back also lists Cup and Blur as other figures to get in Wave 1, and also says here build the cast and that if you were that way inclined. So there's the instruction booklet. Not much to say about that. Comes with one representation of his blaster, basically just white plastic painted silver. And they've left the handles and that just like a block white, which is, a bit annoying but manageable. And he also comes with this display stand, which is supposed to depict Moonbase 1 or something like that. You can see like another Moonbase or possibly Cybertron in the background there, computer displays, and you can display your figure in either alt mode or robot mode there. I don't really have any need or purpose or want or desire for this thing right here, so that is going to be serving a completely different function at some point. But we're here to talk about this little fella. Now, one thing I do want to highlight here is, let's get the negatives let's get the positives out of the way first. Rolls very, very well. Is a faithful depiction of his Generation 1 alt mode, and the robot mode as well will be when I get to that. I like the paint use just here. There's a fantastic Autobot symbol right on the front here. I know that they're doing repro labels, or they have done repro labels, which give it a slightly more G1 toy look, where the stripes here are like metallic stickers, and they're all like sort of done a lot darker and sort of things like that. I've got a slight paint scratch right here, and that might have been my fault, but you might not be able to see that. The silver on the grille kind of gets lost a little bit against the white plastic, and there's the headlights are painted blue as well to give it a more animation look. Underneath is a bit robot kibbly. I mean, obviously there's the head, there's the arms, there's the crutch, here are the legs and everything like that. Having said that, it does kind of tidy up quite well. So even though it's kibbly underneath, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Let's get the negatives out of the way though. However, just here at the back, these will eventually become the robot feet. Let's try and get that on camera. These will eventually become the robot feet, and I kind of feel that, you know, it would have been nice to see a little bit more integration into the alt mode around the back here. But then again, I'm a consumer, not a toy engineer. What the fuck do I know? The two-tone on the white is really starting to bug the shit out of me. I mean, this right here on the wheel arches, you can see is a totally different colour to the rest of it. I can forgive this along the roof of the car and the back windshield, and just underneath the front windshield just here, I can forgive that because this is spray painted white on top of a light blue translucent plastic. There is a little bit of different colour in the thighs as well, but I'll come to that in a minute. But I thought it wouldn't be quite so noticeable on camera, and lordy fuck was I wrong. That is really, really noticeable, quite jarring and annoying as fuck. But again, not a hell of a great deal I can do about it. The wheels are painted silver. It would have been nice to see this little part just here filled in with some sort of silver to offset against the back wheels, but sadly not. And it's the same on the other side as well. I had the only Generation 1 Jazz I had as a kid was the Pretender Jazz, and believe me, the alt mode here is a far step up from that piece of shit, which I will come to at some point. But I didn't get G1 Jazz until I think about probably about 2012, when I got the Hasbro reissue. So when I got this for the first time and I transformed it from robot into vehicle and then from vehicle back to robot, I did kind of get that nostalgic feeling about the first time I got my G1 Jazz. So that there are similar transformation points in it, and it kind of gave me the same feeling, which is cool. Which is cool. Having said that, though, as nice as this is, it isn't perfect. Which I kind of wanted. I kind of really wanted it to be, and it's not, sadly. But for what it is, I can live with the fact that it's not perfect. If you see what I mean. So, that's about as much as I can say about the alt mode. I mean, the glaring problems in the alt mode in terms of the paint don't really carry over that much to the robot mode, because pretty much everything gets hidden in terms of backpacks and underneath the chest and things like that. So we're going to start with the transformation, and we're going to start with taking these doors and flipping them out so it's like almost like gull wing, sort of like mask sort of style, just like that. Okay, and then we want to start breaking apart the car. So take this section here and the entire top assembly of the car, and just start breaking it away from the rest. There we are. There's that. And do the same for the front section. Okay, so you got that. So this, lift that up if you want. This section here, where the legs are, split it if you want, or you can do it all together, and then bring the whole thing down. So the thighs collapse into the lower leg in alt mode. Do the same on that side. And these silver tabs here, fold them out for the feet. That means the spoiler then automatically becomes the ankle. And then these wheel arches, the rear wheel arches, spin them round the other way. Spin them round and then do that. So that will be basically your legs done. Like that, okay? And then we want to take the under sections just here and then flip them out like this, so the wheels go onto the inside just like that. Okay, now this part is really annoying. Okay, so you want to basically spin the torso section around 180 degrees without moving this silver bit of plastic just here. Okay, like that. And then move the entire assembly around back round 180 degrees and move this silver section like that. All right then. Come round. Yeah, head. No, it doesn't want to do that yet. Get that out of the way. This little panel right here. Push that down and then collapse it underneath, and then push the head section up, and then bring the entire chest section down. Fold that down. Then we want to straighten out the arms, flip out the tabs for the hands, and then rotate the arm at the bicep. Like that on both sides. And then this whole back section just here, take the back windshield and collapse it on the double hinge. See if I can show this properly. Take the whole thing and collapse it underneath the roof of the car. So it's flush. Take the doors, fold them in, and then bring the whole thing and bring it down. And that creates your backpack. And that is Studio 86 Jazz in his robot mode. So I'm going to try and tidy him up a little bit here. There, that's close enough. Not perfect, but that'll do. And that's actually exactly how I would describe the figure. Not perfect, but it will do. I mean, as I said about the color discoloration. Fucks, I get your words out, cunt. On the thighs is a noticeable difference to the arms just here and like the sort of the chest and everything like that. But in terms of like the sort of backpack, you're not really going to see the backpack in robot mode anyway. And the wheel arches are underneath the arms here, so that's not really that much of an issue. Articulation wise, I mean, the head will go around a full 360. And we'll tilt a little bit. I think that might be on a very small ball joint. Arms, we'll do all the things I'm supposed to do. There's a bicep swivel there. There's an elbow joint just there. The hands have no wrist swivel or anything like that. There's a waist swivel. And then thighs and like sort of, yeah, basically there's an even ankle tilt just there, which is pretty cool. You don't expect that from like sort of a figure like this, but it's nice. Yeah, the only problem is this panel just here has a tendency to move. If I move the head, the panel drops down. But there we are. Trying to get him straightened up is a bit of an issue. There we are. Let's take a look at him. He's not the worst thing in the world. I expected a little bit more when I got him, and I was actually pleasantly surprised when I got him. I still like him. I still really, really like him. Don't get me wrong. I really do. But the more I fiddle around with it, the more I kind of think to myself, just stand up straight, just do this, just do that. I mean, and I can't get him into like a perfect static pose. I can't get him into a perfect static pose, and that's a little bit annoying. Like the fact that this isn't fucking, this isn't focusing. There we are. Get the fuck. I mean, if you want one, I recommend getting him. I recommend getting him because he is a cool little toy. You know, trying to get him into some poses. There's no ankle, there's no knee sort of bend tilt sort of thing. So he can do this sort of really awkward shit. And why isn't this focusing? He can do all this like really awkward shit like that. That doesn't look like anything. That looks like fucking nonsense to me. So I've not really tried displaying him in a dynamic pose thing because he won't quite do it, which is maybe it's something I'm doing. Maybe it's something I'm doing that's wrong or something. The other thing I want to talk about is this shit just here, and obviously this shit, the hollowness of the legs and the forearms and that, like a little panel or something, just to like when you flip out the hand, maybe something just like sort of flops down here or flips over. I don't know, maybe when you fold out the back, like a little panel that clips in here. You know, considering this is supposed to be Studio Series, which is you know, or a slightly higher end thing, but obviously not Masterpiece. Studio Series, you know, considering how much they cost, I wouldn't expect it to have gaps like that. But there we are. He can hold his weapon in his hand, like that. So that's a pretty cool pose right there. The face sculpt here is brilliant. I've got to say, I really, really like this. Can I get focused in there anymore? Would be nice if I could. Nice little painted blue eyes, decent face sculpt, everything like that. He's cool. I do like him. I don't know, for some reason I was just expecting a little bit more than what I got. But there we are, ladies and gentlemen. Am I complaining over nothing? Probably yes. It's a toy. Of course I'm complaining over nothing. But you know, that's just my opinion. Whether or not it's valid, who knows? So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching this review. Have I said anything of consequence or note? Again, probably not. This is one of my reviews. You shouldn't expect anything earth-shattering at this point. But that's the review for Studio Series 86 Jazz. I would give him a sort of 7.5 to nearing 8 out of 10, but not quite 8 out of 10. The colour discoloration thing annoys the fuck out of me. I need to maybe fuck around with it a little bit more to get sort of like a really sort of like decent pose out of him or anything like that. I mean, that just looks like I've squashed him, and that's exactly what I've done. I've squashed the bastard. He's definitely not the worst toy I've ever bought in my life. I will review that again at some point soon. Yeah, for the most part I like him, but I just think they could have done just a little bit better with him. But ultimately, they are just hollow, shallow complaints. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching this review. This is Gerald Gavin Barry, also known as Wolfgang1, saying I will be back at some point soon with my next 7 Days to Die video and more reviews coming soon. Again, as mentioned in the intro, please go and check out Spudbot's channel. The description will be in the link below. And I will see you all at some point in the near future. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, take care. And when tomorrow comes,